Hey guys, so welcome back to another finance video. My name is Haley Babs, and today we are going to be discussing financial advice for 18-year-olds. Before we get started with the video, don't forget to hit the subscribe button and to comment down below that you subscribed. If you enjoy this video, don't forget to hit the thumbs up button. I would greatly appreciate it and it would help out this channel. So let's get started with financial advice for 18-year-olds. Advice number one would be to open your own bank account. I remember whenever I was 18 years old, my mother helped me open up a bank account, but if I had to do it all over again, I would maybe did some research and made sure that the bank account that I opened or the bank that I'm banking with didn't have any hidden fees. Now I'm much older and wise, and I have chose a bank account that doesn't give me any maintenance fees or overdraft fees or any of that. So the bank that I personally bank with is Ally Bank. They don't have any hidden fees that are attached with it, and I have really enjoyed their bank. So my first advice is to open a bank account that doesn't have any fees and that has a high interest yield savings account, something that will build interest along with your savings. And that will move on to advice number two. That is to automate your savings. I know it's really hard, especially when you're 18 and you're not making a lot of money, to save, but if you automate your savings, easy, and you don't even have to think about it. It just comes directly out of your checking account into your savings account. My best advice is try to save at least 10 to 20% of your monthly earnings, or at least try to save $25 or $50 a month if possible. But when you automate your savings, it's easy to just set it and then forget about it. And when next time you look at your savings account, you will see that you saved $25 like in January, and then you save another $25 in February, and then you're already in May and you have a whole bunch of money saved up that you didn't even realize you had. So that is advice number two. And move on to advice number three, and that is to set a budget. I don't know about you, but whenever I was 18 years old, I did not have a budget. I didn't have anything of the sort. So as an 18-year-old, is very important to set a budget, because this financial tool or even habit will help you in the long run. So even if you do different types of budget, what I remember doing whenever I was I think I was 19 whenever I started setting a budget, 19 or 20, I started setting a budget, and I just looked up different budgets on Pinterest, and I tried to do the 50-20-30 rule. I even tried to just set a budget to not spend a certain amount on groceries or entertainment, like going to movies and all that stuff. But I think it's very important that when you set a budget, you look at all your bills first and you make sure you can pay all those first. And as I'm talking about bills, I'm also talking about that automated savings we just talked about. And then you can set a budget for all those other categories like groceries and clothes, if you want to buy clothes that month. Let me see what other things are there. Entertainment. So even subscriptions is one of those things as well. Like, it's not very much like a bill. You can always cancel your subscriptions. Like, just think, okay, so I don't have enough money for my phone bill, and you look at your subscriptions and you're like, well, I pay for this subscription, and it's all Disney Plus, Hulu, Netflix, maybe even Spotify. Look at those subscriptions and see which ones you can cut out that will help just a little bit pay for other things that you may need to pay that month. So that is what I would recommend to do for your budget. I even sometimes I even have an Excel spreadsheet, and I put in what I want to pay each month for each category, and I make sure not to go over it. And if I go over it, I make sure that all my other expenses were lower than were low enough, like I spent low enough amount of money on those expenses that it cancels out. So that is my advice for number 3, and let's move on to advice number 4, which is to get a credit card. My advice is to get a credit card now. This getting a credit card will help you move in the right financial direction. And when I mean I don't mean get a credit card and start spending and spending and spending all the money, all the free money on clothes and the new Oculus and new PS5, all that crazy stuff. No. When I mean get a credit card, you are using this credit card to help build your credit score, to help make that credit score as high as you can. And another thing, when you get a credit card, make sure you're getting the right credit card. A credit card shouldn't have any annual fees. It should have a 0 annual fee. Even maybe like the first 12 months be 0 interest. I know when I got a credit card, that was what I had. It had a 0 interest attached to it for the first 12 months. It had 0 annual fees, and it had a sign-on bonus, which I didn't even take advantage of because I didn't even realize that that was something that was included in my credit card, and I was also too scared to use it for the first like 5 months. But that was my mistake and not going to be your mistake, because when you get your credit card, you're going to make sure you know exactly what your credit card offers you, what your credit limit's going to be, and even know how to use your credit card efficiently to give you the most amount of savings you can have possible. And when you get your credit card, you will know how the credit score works, and you are able to build that credit score. Now, when you get your first credit card, don't try to start using it on all these lavish expenses that you know you can't afford. I would recommend to just use your credit card for gas and maybe groceries. And the key here is, when you use your credit card, make sure you pay your credit card off in full every month. Don't just pay the minimum balance. That's not going to get you anywhere. When you pay the minimum balance, you're incurring interest fees onto your credit card statements every month, and not just racking up more money you have to spend towards the credit card company. So my advice is to get a credit card, but make sure you do your research, make sure you are using your credit card responsible, and that you are building that credit score up to be able to unlock some doors in the future. When you build your credit score, you are able to unlock so many doors for yourself, including getting a better purchase on a vehicle, and even helping you get a loan to purchase a house. When a loan officer sees that you are responsible and that you can make your payments on time based off what your credit score is, then they are able to offer you that loan. And another thing is, I'm going to list my top 5 best credit cards that I would say is a great starter card for 18-year-olds, or even somebody who is wanting to help themselves build their credit. And I'm just going to list them off to the side right here, and we will move on to advice number 5, which is educate yourself on investing. Whenever I was 18, I didn't know how to invest. I felt the word was very scary, and I didn't want to get involved in any of that stuff because it was just too scary for me, and I didn't know anything about it. But when I think I was 22, when I decided to start educating myself more on investing and learning how to invest. So my advice for number 5 is just look up some tips and tricks on how to invest. I'm not an expert on investing. I'm not going to tell you what to invest in or how to invest, but I think it's very important that you learn how to invest. That brings me to advice number 6, and this one is kind of different because it's not really tied in with financial advice, but it's a great advice for 18-year-olds, and that is don't purchase a lot of clothes. I see this as a great advice because whenever I was younger, I lived on campus and I had to move dorm to dorm, and hauling all my clothes and folding and washing all my clothes before moving was a hassle. But I didn't have a lot of clothes when I lived on campus because of that, and I felt like this really helped me in the long run because I wasn't spending so much money on clothes. This is especially important for girls whenever, I know it's hard not to buy clothes, but it's important because you are able to save all the extra money on things you could be saving or things you could even be investing in. And I know it's kind of hard for some girls not to purchase clothes, but this is a great tip. And if you can try to find a way to match your outfits, or even like find the clothes you like, but wait for a deal or something, then that's would be something that I would recommend on doing. Now, the fact that you are so young and you decided to click on this video is very good and a very great start to your financial journey. So the fact that you are implementing these 6 tips that I'm giving you for financial advice is greatly important, and you're well on your way to having a great financial journey. With that being said, thank you for watching the video. Don't forget to subscribe, leave a comment down below that you subscribed, and if you enjoy this video, give it a thumbs up. Until next time, bye!